Hello, I'm back. Let's talk about metamorphic rock. Metamorphic, if something goes through metamorphism, it undergoes a change. So, metamorphic rock is rock that has been changed from one type to another. Now, the amount of heat and pressure it takes to change some of these rocks is incredible. And the only place that we can have that much heat and that much pressure is deep inside of Earth. So when a rock gets changed or morphed, it gets changed because of either contact with like a magma chamber. It's real close to where the magma came up, might alter or bake that rock a little bit. And also from being pushed or squished. You think about weight and mass, right? When we talk about everything is pulled towards the center of the earth because of gravity, well, inside of Earth, if you get a bunch of heavy rocks on top of you pushing down, it's a lot of pressure. So rocks change because of heat and pressure. So let's talk about the two different types of metamorphic rock, foliated and non. Now, what that means is if something's foliated, it's been kind of squished and altered, right? Think about all that pressure pushing down. So let's take granite here. Now, granite looks very similar to the parent rock of gneiss. Now, this is a giant piece of gneiss. This is actually a really nice piece of gneiss. This is a very old rock. It is 3.6 billion years old. That's really, really, really old when it comes to rocks. This is found in Martin, Minnesota. You can't go and pick it, but they do let some teachers go there sometimes. So I was able to get some samples of this. But this is the metamorphic rock gneiss. Starts with a G, like gneiss. If you took this rock and you squished it over time from heat and pressure, it kind of melts it, but not really. It turns it in kind of like a Play-Doh-like soup. And as it squishes it, all of those minerals inside of there kind of have a time to realign with their buddies, kind of like when we talked about igneous rock. So you can see these foliated or bands, right? These stripes. They definitely go through the rock. Now, I want to show you a couple other ones that have this same foliation. This is schist. Now, schist is pretty interesting because if you look at the schist, you can see the grains when you look at it this way, right? The grains are really obvious, big grains. Now, that's because it literally was squished this way. If you look at it from the side, you're not going to see those same grain effects. There's a whole bunch of layers there, but you don't see those big shiny grains. That's because this rock has been squished and foliated, right? Kind of layers it out. Here's another piece of gneiss. And again, you can see the banding that happens when we squish a rock from one direction. You can definitely tell the direction and that it was squished. Here's another foliated rock called slate. My father grew up in Pine City, Minnesota, and he was educated in a one-room schoolhouse, believe it or not. And he used to get a piece of this was his chalkboard. They called it a slate. And it was a piece of rock. Now, this rock's really cool because it breaks really flat and thin. You can see the layers, but this way it doesn't seem to have them at all. That's because it's been foliated or squished in one direction. And kind of the giveaway is you can see the layers on one side, but on this side you just see the flat rock, right? Just see the flat pieces. So my dad would tell us that literally they would get like an iPad-sized piece of rock and a piece of chalk, and that's what they did their schoolwork on at school. All right. So foliated means that rock has been baked and squished and flattened. All those grains or all those crystals in there are flattened nice and big and flat, and they're no longer on the edge. All right. Non-foliated rock has been altered from heat and pressure, but not in a specific direction, right? So here's Michelangelo's favorite rock, right? Miguel loves to carve in marble. Marble is a non-foliated metamorphic rock. It comes from this, actually. This is limestone. There's a lot of this in Minnesota, a lot of caves in Minnesota. If you took this and you squeezed it for 10,000 years, maybe, with enough heat and pressure, it actually turns into marble, non-foliated metamorphic rock. All right. So, again, foliation means that those grains or those crystals have been squished or flattened, and it has a pattern that runs this way, right? It's kind of a foliated or banding, it's called. All right, that's it on metamorphic rocks. Peace.